You hear that adulting is hard, but I don't know if we've ever stopped to really understand why. All of the temptation of the world, for the first time in your life, you have the temptation that's always been there, but also the freedom, and then all of the pressures of responsibility sitting on top of that freedom and temptation. And I can remember when I moved to Dallas, walking in the big city, trying to find my place in this world and wanting to make a bunch of money, wanting to be a millionaire before I was 30, and just pursuing the things of this world, but enslaved to an addiction to pornography, enslaved to finding my identity in relationships with women, enslaved to materialism, collecting trinkets and treasures, and trying to climb the corporate ladder. And it all came to a head one night when I was at a bar, standing next to a pool table with a beer in my hand, and someone invited me to church. I went the next day. I sat in the back row. I was hungover from the night before, and I began to wrestle with who is God and what does He desire for my life. And as I gave my life to Him through His Son, Jesus Christ, everything began to change. Who I hung out with changed. The way I had fun changed. The way I talked changed. I plugged into a church. I began to serve for the first time in my life, and I found meaning and purpose, and God would call me to vocational ministry 5 years later. And as I went into ministering to young adults, people in their 20s and 30s, I watched thousands of people make some of the same mistakes I did, and also watched thousands of people avoid the same mistakes I made and find life in Christ. And that's why I wrote this book. People would have a roadmap to navigating their 20s and their 30s and understanding the traps of materialism and the traps that we see in dating, and then how to steward God's resources and how to find the career that God intends for them, and just what it looks like to live according to His will. And I pray that it's helpful to you. So glad you're here. Welcome to Adulting.